Once complete, give your feedback to HR. If selected, then HR will schedule an in-person interview or a Skype interview. Second round is in-person interview. Should be taken by a SQL expert. Be on time. First greet candidate and make him comfortable. In this phase, asking more and more questions is better to have a question bank. Number one, introduce yourself, then ask all level questions related to SQL like easy, medium, hard. Also judge the ability, body language, verbal communication, analytical and problem solving skills. Use template to rate candidates. Start with tell me about yourself. Ask him about current working project. If fresher, then ask about academics. Start with easy question on SQL like what is SQL? What do you mean by DBMS? What are its different types? Difference between delete and truncate statement. What is a primary key? What is a view? What are all the different types of indexes? What are the types of join and explain each. Then jump to medium level questions like write a SQL query to find the names of employees that begin with A. Basically, this will be a query. What is the need for group function in SQL? What is the main difference between in and between operator condition operator? How can you fetch common records from two table? How can you select unique records from a table? Then ask hard level question, mostly problem solving and advanced level questions. How can you fetch alternate record from a table? How can you fetch the first five character of the string? List some advantage and disadvantage of store procedure. How can you create an empty table from an existing table? How do you add ranking to rows using rank function? End the interview on a good note by thanking the candidate for his her time and tell about the next step. Spend maximum 45 minutes to 1 hour in the interview. Once complete, give your feedback to HR. If selected, then HR will schedule an manager round interview. So the third round is definitely a manager round, or some company will jump to technical round too. But in our scenario, it will be a manager round. So managerial interview should be taken by a project manager. Introduce yourself, then ask personal and professional questions, not technical. Judge the ability, body language, and verbal communication. Start with tell me about yourself. Ask about his current working project. If fresher, then ask about academics. Then ask question to know candidate better, like what are your career goals? Why are you looking to change a job? Why should we hire you? Why do you want to work for this company? Then jump to some tricky questions. Explain how would you deal with a coworker at work with whom you are not able to build a successful working relationship. How will you deal with the work that is criticized by your boss or supervisor? Describe what will be your reaction if a project you had been working on suddenly changed or the deadline has been changed. Tell me how you prioritize work when everything is a priority. Lastly, ask what salary are you expecting? How soon you can join? Do you have any questions for me? End the interview on a good note by thanking the candidate for his or her time and tell them about the next step. Spend maximum 30 minutes in a manager round interview. Once completed, give your feedback to HR. If selected, then HR will schedule the next round interview. Fourth round will be an HR round and should be taken by a HR. Every company conducts an HR interview round to judge your personality, your strength, your weakness, your capability to handle the role, to check your background, and to understand if you are the right fit for this job. The HR round is generally the last round in the recruitment process of any company. Introduce yourself, then ask personal and professional questions, not technical. Judge the ability, body language, verbal communication. Start with tell me about yourself. Ask about his current working project. If fresher, then ask about his academics. Why do you want to join us? Are you comfortable with rotational shifts? Why are you looking for a job change? What are your strengths and weaknesses? What is your salary expectation? If all goes well, then the offer is made and the candidate is hired for a SQL developer position. So in this session we have learned and we have seen about an example of how to conduct a SQL developer position interview. Thank you.